Welcome to Cody and Davina's Videodrome. I'm Cody.
I'm Davina.
And today we saw War for the Planet of the Apes. So, we really like the Planet of the Apes movies. The new series is really good. We really enjoyed Rise of the Planet of the Apes. And Dawn was even better than that. And this one is pretty good.
It is pretty good. My favorite of the three is Dawn.
Yeah, I think Dawn
Planet of the Apes.
definitely. I think Dawn definitely wins because it's just a stronger movie and it has a kind of better plot thing going on, better bad guy for sure and everything. It's definitely, you can tell that this one's designed to be kind of the cap off of a trilogy of these Apes movies. Not necessarily the end, perhaps, because apparently they've announced that they could make another one, so there's that. But as an ending to the current Rise, Dawn, War trilogy, this one was really good as far as a good, satisfying conclusion to the story. It wasn't as good as Dawn, I think, but it was still a really good movie. It was still like a very... if it were just a standalone and it wasn't part of the trilogy or whatever, it would still be a really good movie. It's a good standalone story.
And, well, except for the very beginning, it definitely could stand on its own. We were pretty, I guess, bothered, or I don't really know how to say it, but like the opening where they bring up the exposition in text and they give you like a brief 1 to 2 sentence synopsis of the last two movies and set you up for this one. That it was just a little bit off-putting to start on this journey because we've already seen the last two, and
it didn't feel necessary.
Yeah, even if you haven't seen the last two, I don't feel like you really needed that exposition before going into this movie.
Not necessarily, and they did such a great job. Same team that made this movie did the last one. So Matt Reeves was the director and everything, and on Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, they did such a great opening. They had the opening title sequence set to showing the spread of the simian flu and the fall of humanity, basically. And then it picks up with the apes. And for the first, 10 or 15 minutes of that movie, it's nothing but apes signing to one another. And in that, they talk about the fact that it's been 10 winters since the simian flu broke out or whatever. And it's been 2 winters since they've seen humans. That's such a great way to put you into the world without having to read or having narration or any of those kind of cliche ways to start a movie. This movie broke that and starts with reading. And I don't know why. That was silly. They did not need that, especially considering you likely saw the first 2 movies before you saw this movie. Right. Really. So yeah, I totally agree with that. It was a bad idea, but it's not... I know probably why they did it. It's one of those things where you're trying to be,
they're trying to set it
inclusive
apart
or whatever.
And I feel like, with Dawn, there were a lot of action sequences, a lot of fighting. So now maybe, going into War, they're trying to set it up what makes it War as compared to where Dawn had all these battles. And we do learn a new, I guess, kind of mutation or result of the simian outbreak.
Yeah, that's
which
fun.
Which kind of helps propel the reason why there's war.
And it leads towards it furthers the idea of these movies going eventually into the original Planet of the Apes movies. It goes further towards that. That's nice. The new human cast in this movie, because every movie they've had a new human cast. They kept the same apes. New humans. And this time, Woody Harrelson is the villain. Really, really, really good villain. Little bit of a cliche, kind of post-apocalyptic stock character kind of villain, but the way Woody Harrelson plays him is really good.
It's the homage to Apocalypse Now.
Totally.
From the very beginning of the movie, whenever you have the soldiers going through the jungle and they've all got monkey killer on their helmets, it's set up a lot like a Vietnam War movie.
Yeah, that is so true. And they even have that in one scene in the movie when they're in the tunnels and you see Apocalypse Now graffitied on the wall. They wear that kind of Vietnam movie thing on their sleeves.
That's a cool kind of Easter egg that was tucked into the movie. But speaking of human cast, I felt that it was very unfortunate that this movie came out after Logan. Because
we talked about this coming out of the movie for sure.
There's a silent little girl around 10 or 11 years old, and
there's a couple
she plays a very pivotal role throughout the whole movie, and it really felt like it hit a lot of the same story high points as Logan did with X23.
Yeah. In Logan, it's in this movie the plot similarities are a little bit weird that there's so many of them, but it's a kind of a road movie. They're traveling a lot. They find a mute little girl that plays a role in the plot. There's sequences of
Caesar,
captivity, being put behind bars and all that.
Caesar, the main character, if we're looking at Caesar and Logan, is the same. They have to come to learn to trust and like the little girl.
Yeah. So there's a few things. It's not like overt, but it's definitely, if Logan's on your mind, which it just came out, this movie has a lot of the similar kind of story beats. Almost eerily so, but it
doesn't make for a bad story.
No.
It's just one that we've seen already this year, so it's just unfortunate that they came out so close together. Yeah. Not really the movie's fault at all. Just something we noticed as fans of movies. It's weird that they did that, but yeah, anyway, we really loved the movie. Like we said, not quite as good maybe as the last movie, but just below it if you were rating them. It's still really good. It definitely, as far as a big budget summer blockbuster goes, it definitely continues the same thing from Dawn of being very different than your typical blockbuster. Right, there's a good, really kind of like heart-wrenching story behind all of this big action and explosion.
Right, totally. This movie has heart. It's got brains. It's a very smart movie. It's if they are going to continue making these, I support it because I could definitely live in that world a little bit more. I feel like they'll probably.
No, you couldn't.
They could. Well, I couldn't. I wouldn't live. Yeah, I wouldn't be alive in the world, but I could definitely view the world. Yes, but yeah, I could definitely see more movies out of this series for sure. But I don't want them to push it to the point where they're like beating a dead horse, and it's just But yeah, great movie. We both highly recommend it. Whether you've seen the other ones or not, this is definitely a good movie.
If you haven't seen the other ones, what are you waiting on?
Exactly. You should totally be watching that. I mean,
check those out and then go see War for the Planet of the Apes.
Absolutely. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to like and subscribe and everything. And we'll catch you next time.